Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Brett Madigan from Baker Games, and I'm playing Sinner at PAX Australia 2017 with...
I'm Ian from another indie.
Alright, so what is Sinner and what's unique about it?
Okay, so this is Sinner. It's a Souls-inspired boss battler. So this is Adam, our main character. As you can see, very standard attack, a bit faster than the Souls games, 2 weapons, and what we're going to do now is we're going to do our first sacrifice. So this is our unique mechanic where every boss you fight requires a sacrifice, which levels you down. So this one, for example, if you look at my health and stamina, is now reduced. That reduction is permanent. So now we're going to go and fight the first boss, Greed.
So what's the sacrifice actually do, and why is it permanent?
So it's our way of making the game harder. So at the very beginning of the game, there are 7 bosses that you can fight in any order you please, but each one has its own bespoke sacrifice. So the game gets harder as you play it. And yeah, that's a quick and beautiful summary.
So, alright, what do we...
So we have
Is this a cutscene, or is this
a terrible cutscene that will not be in the game. So
Okay.
if you can see it, please close your eyes. But yeah, so this is actually this is my favorite design boss. This is the Crow Wizard, who is a former magician who was consumed by greed and became the avatar of greed. Each one of our bosses is an avatar for a sin, and the plot follows Adam, who is here to redeem himself from sin. Each boss has something to do with Adam and Adam's story, but our story actually focuses on the bosses rather than Adam. So you have to kind of put the pieces together in order to understand. So we have a few unique features. Firstly is we have a dedicated rush button, which allows me to get around the map a lot faster than you can in most Souls-likes.
Yeah, rather than just rolling around all the time?
Precisely. So we do a lot of rolling, but we also can get in nice and quick, perform a decent attack, and get out. We also have a parry function, which is significantly easier to pull off than Souls games. So what we're trying to encourage is a more fast-paced, aggressive style of play. So for example, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some items to whittle this guy down, providing he doesn't escape from them, of course. So the fire grenades do quite a chunk of damage, as you'll see. Now, each boss has some kind of weakness. We hide that quite well a lot of the time, but in this case, this guy really doesn't like fire. So what this means is that some of the other sacrifices, they're going to take away your fire items. So the sacrifices aren't just a simple case of, oh, I'm weaker now. It's a case of, oh, I'm weaker and that boss is much stronger. Oh, that went horribly wrong.
Do those sacrifices stack up over time?
They do, yeah, so they're permanent. So actually by the end of the game, Adam has no armor, and he has broken weapons, and he just generally looks a bit terrible. So it's kind of an inverse of the usual action RPG mechanic. So you actually get weaker over time. We don't level you up, we level you down.
And is that required to continue, or is it
So,
just...
yes and no. So if you want to complete the game, you have to kill all 7 bosses and have them remain dead. What you can do is you can resurrect the boss and take back your sacrifice. So for example, if you are, say, not the best Souls player in the world and you want to continue playing the game, you can do so. You just make a sacrifice, fight the boss, finish the boss, reclaim your sacrifice, and do like that. So actually, most of our content is not gatekeepered. It's all just there and waiting for you to play, which is kind of what we were going for. We wanted a Souls game, but we didn't want to have that same difficulty of entry. Yeah, but we also wanted gamers to be everyone to be able to enjoy the vast majority of the gameplay. So the only thing that's gatekeepered is the final boss, which requires you to defeat all 7 bosses with all sacrifices active.
That's how you complete the game.
That's how you complete the game.
What engine is this running on?
It's running on Unreal right now. So we're on Unreal 4, and it looks pretty, right?
Oh yeah.
It's actually developed by 4 guys in China. Sorry, no, it's not true. It's developed by 7 guys in China. They're called Darkstar. They're an incredible group of people, and this is their very first product. But they're all industry veterans that wanted to create something unique. Their end goal is to be China's first homegrown triple indie studio. They want to do big, beautiful, bombastic games while still kind of keeping to that indie ethos. And Sinner is their first attempt at this. So if you support the game, you're supporting some really ambitious development.
It looks really good.
It's really hard. What I've done is I literally spent hours and hours and hours of my life training up on this boss precisely so that I can do what I'm doing right now, which is talk and play. But most people will not be able to accomplish this. I hope. If they can, it just means I'm really bad. So yeah. Do you have any more questions?
What's the inventory look like? Is there an inventory?
This inventory is down here. So I have the fire grenades, I have the healing items, I have my lightning spears, which I probably shouldn't have tried to use right then. Got a bit cocky. See, that's our parry, which makes life so. I don't know if you've ever played the Souls games, but the parry in the Souls games is brutal. Why haven't you played the Souls games? You don't mind my asking. Not that this is me asking because I'm hoping that we're solving a problem that you might have.
I just really don't like how slow the mechanics are.
Yeah, no.
The animations and stuff, they feel really clunky to me, and it just annoys me.
See, what I hope is that, there we go, so we're now going to redeem this character. And by redeeming him, we finish the mission. But you'll see, we still keep our sacrifice. So that's the core of Sinner. And I hope you enjoyed it.
It looks really good. I really want to play it, but I'll leave it up to you.
No worries,
I'll
man.
leave you to play it.
No worries, man. Yeah, if you have any more questions, and just let me know.
No worries. We'll finish.
If you want to support me, you can head over to patreon.com/madagain. Thank you to everyone that's currently supporting me.